Jaya Jaya Sri Caitanya Jaya Nityananda
Jaya Jaya Sri Chaitanya Jaya
Jaya
Nityananda
Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda
Jaya Daita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda
Jaya Jaya Sri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda
Jaya Jaya Sri Chaitanya Jaya
Jaya Nityananda,
Nityananda
Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda
Jaya
Jaya
Daita
Dvaita
Chandra Jaya
Chandra
Gaura
Gaura
Bhakta
Bhakta
Vrinda
Vrinda.
Jaya Jaya Sri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda
Jaya
Jaya Jaya
Jaya
Sri
Sri
Chaitanya
Chaitanya
Jaya
Jaya
Nityananda
Nityananda.
Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda
Jaya
Jaya
Daita
Dvaita
Chandra
Chandra
Jaya
Jaya
Gaura
Gaura
Bhakta
Bhakta
Vrinda
Vrinda.
श्री चैतन्य चरितामृत की जय।
Jai
कृष्णदास कविराज गोस्वामी की जय।
Jai
प्रभुपाद की जय।
Jai
समवेत गौर भक्त वृंद की जय।
Jai
ओम अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपः कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकम्। नमो ओम विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांत स्वामिनिति नामिने नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैता गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंदा हरे कृष्णा
Hare Krishna,
कृष्णा
Krishna
कृष्णा
Krishna,
हरे हरे
Hare Hare,
हरे
Hare
राम
Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, dear devotees, welcome to today's Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita reading. We are reading from Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita, Madhya Leela, chapter 2, the ecstatic manifestations of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. It's a synopsis of the Antya Leela, the pastimes of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in the last 12 years of his earthly Leela. So, we have been reading about Mahaprabhu's ecstasies in separation and how Mahaprabhu is reciting some verses from Krishna Karanamrita by Bilvamangal Thakur, in which Srimati Radharani is expressing her state of mind, which is exactly the same as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's. So, so Srimati Radharani is saying, my dear Lord, you are engaged in your pastimes and you utilize all the men in the universe according to your desire. You are so kind to me. Please divert your attention to me. For by fortune, so what were we reading before this was how when somebody is in this condition, in the state of Srimati Radharani, in Mahabhava, there are contradictory emotions in them. And these emotions are actually ecstasies. These ecstasies are like soldiers fighting with each other to defeat the other one and to get the upper hand. But only here the soldiers are these various ecstasies, which are either in the form of anger or of humility, of happiness, joy, or of grief, like that. Different opposing emotions. They're all coming up at the same time. And this pure devotee is why these things are happening. They're happening as a result of the madness of love of Godhead. So Mahaprabhu is in this condition. He so what if you remember, he's reciting these verses of Srimati Radharani, where at one moment she's glorifying Krishna. You're so beautiful, you're so attractive. You know, all the women of the entire universe are attracted to me. But you please have mercy on me also. You know, please. Otherwise, I'm in such a state. If you don't give me your attention, if you don't give me a darshan, then I'm finished, right? I don't know what to do. I don't know where to go. No one else understands my condition. Only you understand. So please have mercy, like that, in a very dainya, humble state. And immediately, she says, how can you expect any good behavior from him, right? He's simply interested in these, with all these, he enjoys with all these different women. And you cannot expect him to be, you cannot expect any honest dealings from him. And then immediately after that, uh, but it is not his fault. He's just restless by nature. It's not like that. Opposing emotions, one after another. That's what you will see in these verses. So I'll just read the translations of the last few. So we'll see what's going on. Of course, another point is when there is this madness, what exactly is happening is, see, before this, what did we read? We read the condition, how pitiable from external vision, right? So much suffering, there's not one moment's break in between, continuous suffering. So much that the person doesn't even have any more patience to tolerate the suffering, like that. What is the cause of that suffering? Separation from Krishna. Hankering, so eager that you're unable to bear that separation anymore. That is the condition. So in that condition, if you got the association of Krishna, that is the only medicine, isn't it? So when these emotions come, what is happening? You're remembering Krishna. That remembrance of Krishna is actually connecting you, like giving you the association of Krishna. It's uniting you with Krishna. So it is countering that suffering caused due to separation. Because, and in various emotions, either in joy or in grief or in anger, one way or the other, when you are remembering the Lord, then you're actually with him. Why? Because he is absolute. Whether you remember Krishna, whether you chant Krishna's name, whether you see him in person, he is completely present in all these different ways because he is absolute. That is the spiritual world, isn't it? In the spiritual world, if you say mango, it is as good as eating a mango. You actually get that taste and that relishment and everything. There's no difference between the name and the actual thing. Whereas this is the world of duality. The actual thing is different and just the name is different. But in the spiritual world, it's the same. So therefore, when somebody is chanting Krishna, Krishna, he's actually experiencing Krishna because Krishna is personally present. So similarly, when the gopis, specifically here, when Srimati Radharani, when she's actually remembering Krishna in these different modes, what's happening? That separation is countered because now she's in the association of Krishna. So let's quickly read the verses. Hmm. Okay. I mean, the further back I go, it's just like, you want to read more and more. Anyway, because of the 63, because of the various kinds of ecstasy, contradictory states of mind occurred. And this resulted in a great fight between different types of ecstasy. Anxiety, impotence, humility, anger, and impatience were all like soldiers fighting, and the madness of love of Godhead was the cause. The body of the Lord was just like a field of sugarcane, into which the mad elephants of ecstasy entered. There was a fight amongst the elephants, and in the process, the entire field of sugarcane was destroyed. Thus, transcendental madness was awakened in the body of the Lord, and he experienced despondency in mind and body. In this ecstatic condition, he began to speak as follows. Mahaprabhu speaking, O my Lord, O dearest one, O only friend of all the universe, O Krishna, O restless one, O only ocean of mercy, O my Lord, O my enjoyer, O beloved to my eyes, alas, when will you again be visible to me? The symptoms of madness served as an impetus for remembering Krishna. The mood of ecstasy awoke love, disdain, defamation by words, pride, honor, and indirect prayer. Thus, Sri Krishna was sometimes blasphemed and sometimes honored. So now, in the attitude of Radharani, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu addresses Krishna, "My dear Lord, you are engaged in your pastimes and you utilize all the women in the universe according to your desire. You are so kind to me. Please divert your attention to me, for by fortune you have appeared before me. My dear Lord, you attract all the women of the universe." So the previous one said, "You utilize all the women in the universe according to your desire," right? "But you also be kind to me." It's like a request. So 68 is saying, "My dear Lord, you attract all the women of the universe and you make adjustments for all of them when they appear." Right? You are accommodating to each one. "You are Lord Krishna." Krishna means one who attracts everyone. "And you can enchant everyone. But on the whole, you are nothing but a debauchee." You see? 67 was like requesting, "Please, you also turn your attention to me kindly." And 68 is out of nowhere. "You are Krishna, you're all attractive." That's glorification. And immediately, "But on the whole, you're nothing but a debauchee. Who can honor you?" Then, "My dear Krishna, your mind is always restless. You cannot remain in one place." But you are not at fault for this. You are actually the ocean of mercy, the friend of my heart. Therefore, I have no reason to be angry with you. Back and forth. Now it's text 70. I think we have to read from here today. "तुमी नाथ व्रज प्राण व्रजेर करो परित्राण बहु कार्ये नाही अवकाशा तुमी आमार रमण सुख दिते आगमन एतो मारा वैदग्ध्य विलासा." My dear Lord, you are the master and the life and soul of Vrindavan. Kindly arrange for the deliverance of Vrindavan. We have no leisure hours away from our many activities. Actually, you are my enjoyer. You have appeared just to give me happiness, and this is one of your expert activities. The word Vaidagdhya means that one is expert, learned, humorous, cunning, beautiful, and skilled in manifesting caricatures. So we read this also the other day. So Srimati Radharani is saying, "Please have mercy on the residents of Vrindavan. We are always engaged in, we are so busily engaged in so many activities, but you are our life and soul. Yes, you are supposed to enjoy us. You have appeared to give me happiness, and this is one of your expert activities." Okay, I'll just keep reading. "मोरा वाक्य निंदा मानी कृष्ण छाड़ी गेला जानी शुनो मोरा ए स्तुति वचना नयनेरा अभिराम तुम्ही मोर धन प्राण हा हा पुनः देह दर्शना." Taking my words as defamation, Lord Krishna has left me. Who will who will honor him? He is a debauchee after all, like that Radharani had said. So taking my words as defamation, right? Lord Krishna has left me. I know that he is gone, but kindly hear my prayers and praise. Don't leave me because I have, said things against you. Now I'm going to glorify you. You should hear this also. I mean, it really looks like madness. When Srimati Radharani or Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, in the mood of Srimati Radharani, said in the previous verse, "Overall, you're just a debauchee. Who will honor you?" So is she in the presence of Krishna? No, right? Is in separation because she's not able to see Krishna. So she's saying these words. But then because she said it, immediately she's saying, "Because I said these words, Krishna took it as defamation and he left me. So now here, I'm going to glorify you. Please come back." Like that. "Taking my words as defamation, Lord Krishna has left me. I know that he is gone. But kindly hear my prayers and praise. You are the satisfaction of my eyes. You are my wealth and my life. Alas, please give me your audience once again." स्तंभकंप प्रस्वेदा वैवर्ण्य अश्रुस्वरभेदा देह होइलो पुलके व्यापिता हासे कांदे नाचे गाए उठी इति utiधाय क्षणे bhume podiya murchita. There were different transformations of the body of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, being stunned, trembling, perspiring, fading away of color, weeping and choking of the voice. In this way, his whole body was pervaded by transcendental joy. As a result, sometimes Chaitanya Mahaprabhu would laugh, sometimes cry, sometimes dance, and sometimes sing. Sometimes he would get up and run here and there, and sometimes fall on the ground and lose consciousness. So these were the external manifestations of Mahaprabhu's ecstasies. So far, we were reading about what was going on in his consciousness, in his mind. What is the suffering that he is undergoing because of separation? But externally, how these ecstasies are manifested, that we are seeing in this verse. So, continuously, all these were happening non-stop, right? No break of a moment in between. One or the other, or more than one at the same time happening in the body of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. There were different bodily transformations. That is why when you see Jagannath, Baladev, Subhadra, these are bodily transformations of ecstasy. Highest ecstasy actually transforms the body. These material bodies cannot handle such ecstasies. A person cannot live. You need to have a spiritual body, right? To have these parshada deha, a body from the spiritual world. So there were different transformations of the body of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. What are these transformations? Being stunned, right? You just become like a statue, being stunned, trembling. The whole body is literally shaking, right? Trembling, perspiring. It becomes so much sweat, right? Perspiring from every pore, fading away of color, right? Your skin becomes pale, color changes. Not just pale, different colors also. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, once they saw, he became black when he accepted Jagai Madai's sins. He just turned black. Like that, fading away of color. Of course, here it says fading away, so the complexion becomes pale. Weeping, weeping. This was constantly going on, weeping and choking of the voice. In this way, his whole body was pervaded. Pervaded means what? Completely filled. It was covered. Every cell, right? The entire body was completely filled with transcendental joy. As a result, so this is all joy, right? You see him weeping and falling down in separation, crying. He's experiencing joy, transcendental joy. As a result, sometimes Chaitanya Mahaprabhu would laugh, sometimes cry, sometimes dance, and sometimes sing. Sometimes he would get up and run here and there, and sometimes fall on the ground and lose consciousness. In this world, if you saw these things, what would anyone think? If you saw someone on the street, all of a sudden laughing, crying, running here and there, falling down, you will think he's mad, isn't it? So that is why a Mahabhagavat devotee is not recognized in this world. They'll think, oh, this is a mad person. He will appear like a mad person. But in reality, he is the most exalted person. Purport by Srila Prabhupada. In the Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, 8 kinds of transcendental changes taking place in the body are described. 8, right? Ashta Sattvika Vikar. 8 transcendental transformations. Stambha, being stunned, refers to the mind's becoming transcendentally absorbed. In that state, the peaceful mind is placed on the life air and different bodily transformations are manifest. These symptoms are visible in the body of an advanced devotee. When life becomes almost inactive, it is called stun, right? So there's no more activity of the body, external body, you don't see anything happening because the mind is completely absorbed, like in samadhi, right? The mind is completely, transcendentally absorbed, and there's no other activity happening. External body, the life, practically, life becomes inactive. It is said that the mind, peaceful mind, is placed on the life air, and different bodily transformations are manifest. So this is stamba or getting stunned. When life becomes almost inactive, it is called stun. The emotions resulting from this condition. So, what happens when one becomes stunned? The emotions resulting from this condition are what follows this. What type of emotions are experienced when one is stunned? The condition from this condition, emotions resulting from this condition are joy, fear, astonishment, moroseness, and anger. So one can become stunned while experiencing these emotions: joy, fear, anger, astonishment, and moroseness. In this condition, the power of speech is lost and there is no movement in the hands and legs. Right? You become like a rock. So we see this, when Krishna left Vrindavan to go to Mathura, then that was the condition of Yashoda Mai, Nanda Maharaj. They were literally like statues, not doing anything. But what was going on inside? These are the emotions. So otherwise, so stunned means they lose the power of speech and there's no movement of hands and legs. Otherwise, being stunned is a mental condition. Many other symptoms are visible on the entire body in the beginning. Other symptoms are also visible. These are very subtle, but gradually they become very apparent. When one cannot speak, naturally one's active senses are arrested. And the knowledge acquiring senses, what are the knowledge acquiring senses? Your eyes, your ears. So you're not able to speak. Speaking is actually working sense, okay? But tasting is knowledge acquiring sense. So the other knowledge acquiring senses are rendered inoperative. Kampa, trembling. So that all this description was about stambha, being stunned. All this is happening. Then kampa, trembling of the body is mentioned in the Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu as a result of a special kind of fear, anger, and joy. So you experience this kampan or this trembling when you are in fear, when you are in anger, and also when you are in joy. This is explained in Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. This is called Vepathu. Remember from Bhagavad Gita, Arjun says, Vepatushcha sharire me. Vepathu means trembling. My whole body is trembling, Arjuna says. So Vepathu. So this kampa is called Vepathu. Trembling of the body due to fear, anger, or joy. So this is called Vepathu or kampa. When the body begins to perspire, so the next one, so we saw stambha, we saw kampa or vepathu, then perspiration. When the body begins to perspire because of joy, fear, and anger combined, this is called sveda. Sveda means sweating, right? Why? Because of, again, anger, joy, or fear. Vaivarnya is described as a change in the bodily color. Varna, Krishna Varnam Tvisha Krishnam. Krishna Varnam means he belongs to the category of Krishna, but his color is not Krishna. So Varna is described as a change of bodily color. So anyway, so Vaivarnya is described as a change in the bodily color. It is caused by a combination of moroseness, anger, and fear. When does change of bodily color happen? When all three are combined: moroseness, anger, and fear together. So change of color is not happening in happiness, joy. It's not happening in joy. It's happening in moroseness, anger, and fear. When these emotions are experienced, the complexion turns pale and the body becomes lean and thin. Okay, so Vaivarnya means change of color. Kampa or Vepathu means trembling. Sway, what is that? Tamba means being stunned. So these are the terms of the 8 types of transformations, ecstatic transformations of body. So we saw Vaivarnya. Then next, when these emotions are experienced, the complexion turns pale and the body becomes lean and thin. Ashru is explained in the Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu as a combination of joy. Ashru means what? Weeping, right? Tears coming up. It's a combination of joy, anger, and moroseness. Some things like you can relate to on this earthly platform also, right? When you're overly happy, then also sometimes tears come. And of course, when you're sad, most of the time you see tears are coming. Sometimes even when you're angry, tears come to your eyes. So joy, anger, and um, sadness, moroseness, you can get um, tears in your eyes. Ashru, yeah, that causes water to flow from the eyes without effort. It causes water to flow from the eyes. So when you experience these emotions, transcendental emotions, ecstasies, then these emotions, these ecstasies cause tears or water to flow from the eyes without effort. When there is joy and there are tears in the eyes, the temperature of the tears is cold. Just see how scientific everything is, right? If you are happy and there are tears coming, they are actually cold. But when there is anger, the tears are hot. In both cases, the eyes are restless, the eyeballs are red, and there is itching. These are all symptoms of ashru. When there is a combination of moroseness, astonishment, anger, joy, and fear. See, there's more here, not just three. There is anger, fear, moroseness, but also astonishment and joy. All five are there. There is a choking in the voice. Okay? So, choking requires more ecstasies. So, in addition to anger, fear, moroseness, there is joy and astonishment. All five are there. Then there is choking in the voice. And this choking is called Gadgada. Gadgada. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu refers to Gadgada Ruddhayagira. The Shikshashtakam. Where does that come? चेतोदर्पणमार्जनं भवमहादावाग्निनिर्वापणं श्रेयः कैरवचन्द्रिका वितरणं विद्यावधूजीवनम् आनन्दाम्बुधिवर्धनं प्रतिपदं पूर्णामृतास्वादनं सर्वात्मस्नपनं परं विजयते श्रीकृष्णसङ्कीर्तनं नाम्नामकारि बहुधा निजसर्वशक्तिः नाम्नामकारि बहुधा निजसर्वशक्तिस्तत्रार्पिता नियमितस्मरणेन कालः एतादृशी तव कृपा भगवन् ममापि दुर्दैवमीदृशमिहाजनिनानुरागः तृणादपि सुनीचेन तरोरपि सहिष्णुना अमानिना मानदेन कीर्तनीयः सदा हरि न धनं न जनं न सुन्दरीं कवितां वा जगदीश कामये मम जन्मनि जन्मनीश्वरे भवताद्भक्तिरहैतुकी त्वयि ऐनन्दतनुजकिङ्करं पतितं मां विषमे भवाम्बुधौ कृपया तव पादपङ्कजस्थितधूलिसदृशं विचिन्तया नयनं गलदश्रुधारया वदनं गद्गदरुद्धया गिरा पुलकैर्निचितं वपुः कदा तव नाम ग्रहणे भविष्यति. This verse is talking about the ecstasies. Nayanam galadashru dharaya. This is ashru, galadashru. Nayanam galadashru dharaya. They are flowing continuously. Tears are flowing from my eyes. Nayanam galadashru dharaya. Vadanam gadgada ruddhaya gira. The whole vadanam gadgada ruddhaya gira. So vadanam means here there's choking of the voice. Pulakair nichitam. Vapu. That means the vapu means the body. There is okay. That is so in the Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, pulaka is described as joy, encouragement, and fear. When these combine, the hairs on the body stand on end, and this bodily state is called pulaka. So this verse of Shikshashtakam, Nayanam Galadashudharaya, is explaining of these ecstasies of um, of tears, right, ashru, of the choking of the voice, and of the bodily hair standing on end called pulaka. So this verse was talking about Hase kande nache gaye uti iti uti dhai. Kshane bhume podiya murchita. So also stambha, first line, stambha kampa prasveda. Sveda means perspiration, kampa means trembling, stambha means stunned, Vaivarnya means changing of color, Ashru means weeping or tears coming continuously without effort, Swarabheda means Gadgada Ruddhayagira, right? The voice is choking. Deha hoila pulake vyapita. Pulaka means the whole body, because of joy, the hairs are standing on end. So the first two lines, that's what is explained here in this purport. The manifestation of these ecstasies. Okay, so maybe I'll stop here. There was a purport, so that took some time. So we will continue tomorrow. Thank you all so much, devotees. I'm sorry I joined late. I actually became delayed today. So, Hare Krishna. Thank you.
Hare Krishna Mataji, thank you.
Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.